Today we've got an exciting signature model introduction from Fender from Cory Wong. They're awesome. We're going to tell you all about them, so stay tuned. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and like our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, visit our spring store link below for custom designed t-shirts like the ones we are wearing today. We're like twins, Twinkies here. Yeah, this is one of our new shirts. Very, very cool. And something else that we have that's the same today is this pair of guitars. Now we have more than these two, but this is a very cool signature model that's been introduced. Tell us what it is.
This is the Cory Wong Signature Stratocaster.
Very cool. We've got a pair of them today. Two Wongs make a right, is what I say. Don't cancel us. Cory Wong, if you are not familiar, is a phenomenal guitar player. How would you describe Cory's style?
Like the most lead rhythm player I've ever heard. Really just defines the sound of like whatever project he's playing in. Playing with Vulfpeck most of the time. Like the slappiest, cool percussive rhythm stuff. Truly like a pair for the Strat in terms of style.
His right hand technique and his clean tone are very cool, like funk, rhythm bass type stuff. I first learned about him probably like you and most people with what he's doing with Vulfpeck. But he also does stuff on the side as a solo project and with a few others. What's the other group they do?
The Fearless Flyers?
Yes, the Fearless Flyers.
Yeah, that's cool stuff. Really cool.
Just amazing musicians, all of them, all around. And I don't know if I've told you this story, if I've shared it on this channel, but pre-pandemic, when they were doing the Ultra introduction and I got to go to Nashville and see this before it was launched, the surprise of the night was Cory Wong and his band coming out on stage at the Analog in Nashville and just like delighting us. And here's how cool it was. I was literally like center of the room with a bunch of dealers. There's probably 60 of us in this room, 15 feet away from center stage while Cory was just like going nuts with his band. Every single one of them, phenomenal musician. It was a blast. And my kids can tell you, we listen to a lot of Cory Wong and Vulfpeck in the car when I'm driving.
Yeah, it's cool because he was like one of the main, I guess, like sponsored artists through the Ultra line.
Yeah.
Like when they first came out, a lot of their promos featured him on the Ultra Strat in Cobra Blue. And this guitar is almost like the first, almost like custom shop Ultra, almost, you know?
Well, it's interesting because he's been known for playing like this, I think it's an old 90s American standard blue Strat with like duct tape and all sorts of stuff. And, I'm all for signature models that, I'm not all for every signature model. There's some weird ones that have come out. I'm just scratching my head. But I really appreciate signature models that come out that offer something unique and really feature an artist. Even if the artist isn't like as commercially known as like, say, John Mayer.
Yeah.
Cory's just a phenomenal guitar player and the music that they're doing is very cool. And I think they're kind of at the beginning of a trend, what he's been doing with his group and with Vulfpeck. And so it's cool to see this come out. And it's got some really unique features. Let's talk about the color first of all. What blue is this?
It's sapphire blue and it's transparent and it's satin.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Satin needs to be accentuated here because I don't think until I held it did I realize that. Most of the photography that's been coming out from Fender on these guitars doesn't really showcase that very well, I think. You can see the grain of the wood, which I've always loved this kind of blue being transparent. But I think the satin finish paired with this pearloid mother of toilet seat pickguard is awesome. It reminds me of the 90s Strats, which I really am a fan of.
Yeah, it's almost like the...
Maybe because I'm a 90s kid, I don't know.
What was that series? Like the Deluxe Player 2 that had the transparent blue. It had tortoise pickguard. But I really like that look. And the reason why I kind of, sort of equate it to an Ultra is some of like the features on here, the carve on the back that we've seen on the Ultras.
Well, it's definitely... Okay, so let's talk about what it is, because it's kind of like an Ultra, to your point, but it's a little different. So we do have the satin sapphire blue finished, transparent finished body. It is an Ultra body, sort of. So like you showed, we've got this bevel that's really cool. It doesn't have the really deep carve out
Yeah.
like the Ultra does, but it does have the neck heel that of the Ultra does. And you probably can't tell from us holding this, but the body's actually slightly smaller
Yeah.
than a normal Stratocaster body, which is great because neither of us is going to be dunking on anybody anytime soon. I don't
Yeah.
think Cory Wong is either.
Mm-mm.
So I like the shrunken down body. This is something that Mayer did when he did the Silver Sky
That's
with the
so weird
PRS.
because I was looking at it when you were kind of holding it up, and it almost gives me kind of a Silver Sky kind
Yeah.
of vibe. Yeah.
So cool trend of taking the Stratocaster, shrinking it down a little bit. It's really hard to tell. I think where I picked up on it the most was looking at the pick guard and just kind of going, something's different.
Yeah.
So that's the body shape that's going on here. The pick guard we talked about. It comes loaded with a push-push that's weird. Weird. I'm just going to say this is a weird push-push.
Yeah.
What's it do?
It bypasses everything and just takes you to the 4th position on your 5-way switch. It doesn't move your switch, but you will see in the demo, I was in the 1st position at the very end, hit it, it goes straight to 4th, which it's his sound.
Well, and I think he even has a T-shirt. I remember seeing on his website something about like just living in 4th position or something, which is such a guitar meta thing. Like most people be like, "What?"
So I live in 4th.
I live in 4th position. I love that, but I don't. I mean, we have a switch. The only thing that I can understand, like why he might want that, is if I'm trying to think in any of his songs if he does a thing where it's almost like a tremolo effect where he's switching really quick.
The way I see it is the 4th position, like the 5th and the 1st are easy. In the middle of doing whatever, you throw it up and
You're there.
It'll go all the way to either side. But the 4th, you kind of have to
Nuance
balance it. Yeah. So it's like, boom, you're in 1st position, you're soloing, back to rhythm, you know?
So this is really, to make an analogy, this is like my son driving, okay? He knows how to get from point A to point B if I'm telling him where to go, but he needs directions. So this is for the person who lives on 4th Street, but might get lost.
That's deep. That is very deep.
And the pickups on here are custom Seymour Duncan signature model pickups for Cory Wong. Do you remember what they're called?
I don't.
It's something about clean tone, like
Yeah.
they're about clean tone. And that's really what Cory's signature sound is. It's a lot of very clean stuff, although seeing him live, listening to some of the songs you pick up on this, but it was really cool watching him when they're doing some of these songs, very funk, a lot of clean stuff, great rhythm, but then he would get into some really cool lead stuff, and then it was long and sustaining with great overdrive and stuff like that. And I think these pickups respond really well.
Yeah. No,
What's your
sound great.
experience with them?
They're like sparkling clean for sure. And you know, Ultras have noiseless pickups.
Mm-hmm.
These are not noiseless pickups, but they're very low noise, if that makes sense. So just running direct into the Hot Rod Deluxe, they'd sound like really, really good.
Well, so here's the secret of it. They're low noise because they're low wound.
Yeah.
They're low output. That's actually how I like pickups.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're single coil or humbucker. That's what I prefer. I think you should get your overdrive and stuff from your amp and from your pedals.
Yeah.
I think you tend to have a more musical instrument that way. And so with these, one of the reasons you get such a great clean sound and this wonderful overdrive tone is because they're low output vintage style single coil pickups. So we've got rosewood on the fretboard, and it's a special fretboard. It's the whole neck, really. Yeah. This is based upon an Ultra neck. Like we said, it's really kind of an Ultra signature. Yeah. So it's the Ultra Deep C or Modern D? Modern D.
Yeah, Modern D.
And 10 to 14 inch compound radius. So what that means, if you're watching at home and following along, down here near the nut where you would do chords primarily, that's going to be 10-inch radius or curvature on the frets. It flattens out to 14 all the way up here at the 22nd fret, so that as you move up and you're playing more single note stuff and lines, then the action can be lower and you're not hitting the curvature of the other fret and fretting out. So you can have really low action on here and you can still have a lot of comfort because you want it rolled where you're doing like chord forms, but a lot of speed as it flattens out as you go up the neck. I have a guitar like this.
Yep.
And I find it to be seamless. You don't even think about it. It's just very comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, people have hard opinions on, I don't do the compound radius. It's like, what are you talking? It's not that big of a deal. It's just made for your comfort.
Like you don't notice it's a compound radius. What you notice is it's a low action, fast playing neck.
Yeah, and ultra rolled on the frets, super supernatural satin, just beautiful feeling
feels
neck.
great.
Yeah. I feel like this is the type of guitar that really couldn't be made to any other spec than like the ultra kind of spec, because it's all about comfort and clean sound and everything. Locking tuners as well.
Everything about this is kind of form following function.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know what the decision behind the finish was, but I think it's that too. Because, Cory's a player, and he's out and he's playing, and he's, scratching up the shiny finish on his guitars and things like that.
I think it's cool too on the neck plate. It says Cory Wong Stratocaster, and it's almost like in the font from the Vulfpeck videos. I think it's like italicized Arial narrow or something. Something that's like very basic, and it's kind of like on brand for like their really almost ironic videos.
If I ever, look, they're missing irony here. If I ever have a signature Strat, it will be done in wingdings. That will be the font that I will request to be
I'll go Comic Sans.
like when I got hired here, every document Zach ever made was in Comic Sans. And that signature is also followed on the back of the headstock. So you've got Cory Wong twice. Cory Wong twice, and we've got twice the amount of Cory Wongs. That's a lot.
What are you gonna do?
I mean, what could go wrong?
So demo-wise, I've said this on every signature. I'm not Slash. I'm not Alex Lifeson. I'm not Cory Wong.
You're not.
So I'm going to do my best to really accentuate the percussive nature of his playing, how it works with the pickups, but also just some normal stuff thrown in there.
We could have had you wear like a black and white striped shirt for the demo.
I probably should have done that, but Teespring, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no,
there's nothing to beat this. So check it out. Sparkling clean tones with some percussive, rhythmic stuff, switching it to leads, and then at the end, bringing you home.
In number 4.
Send the GPS, you know what I'm saying?
All right, let's check it out. So there you have it, the new Fender signature model Cory Wong Stratocaster, and I'm a fan.
I'm a fan as well. We got these, and I was told by a coworker, "Oh, it's way smaller than a Strat," and I was like, "You're lying, and that's not a real thing." And he was right. So, Ethan, congrats! It's the first time you've ever been right in the store.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Few things that we didn't mention that we should mention. It's got a vintage style tremolo on there, and it comes, of course, with a case. They're made in the U.S. you also get a very unique piece of gear with this guitar, a hairband. Now, I don't carry hairbands around for obvious reasons. You probably do.
I do.
But have you ever used one like Corey uses them?
No, I haven't, but I have to now because it's a really good idea. It's really cool.
So it's on the tremolo springs? Or does he use it up here?
I guess so. I've seen people throw it up here.
I've seen people throw it up here too to dampen the resonance of open strings. And Fender's website says it's for the tremolo springs to get this sound. And I'm like, I don't think that's right. I think the copy on Fender's website's wrong.
I mean, maybe it's like the secret sauce that we've never thought about, like trying to dampen the springs. But who's to say? I've never gotten much spring noise.
You know, this reminds me of Harmony Central. People be like, you know, all those guys like SRV and John Mayer and Carlos Santana and everything that they don't put the back cover on their springs. That's for sound. I'm like, no, it's for string changes. It's not for sound. Anyways,
so
I don't know
either way, you get a hair tie. You can use it.
You can use it for your hair.
Yeah.
For your beard.
If you're that guy. Or do what you may have seen others do and just put it at the nut. Mm-hmm. Get some cool muted tones.
I've seen people put it past the nut too, where it's just, follow me on this, loosely sitting there. It's not fretting anything, but if you're playing single note stuff up here, you're not gonna get any noise from the non-fretted strings. So it's a dampener up here. So I've seen that sometimes too. I don't play that way. I just try to be accurate.
Boom.
So.
Wow.
Which I'm probably not. Maybe I should use a hair tie.
The hair tie is cool. It's a cool little thing that they add in there.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice touch.
I think it speaks to the fact that this is Corey's guitar.
Yeah, definitely. But it can be yours as well.
It can be yours as well. So if you'd like more information about either of these guitars, where can they go?
alamomusic.com. Find all the specs. You can chat with any of our people that are on there. If you see Ethan on there, tell him he was right about the size of this guitar. But also, I'll be on there. You can hit us up with any questions you might have. If you want to order one of these, we've had them for a little bit now before they're available. Mm-hmm. Very cool guitars. Yeah, and there's initial orders. There's going to be very few kind of available, kind of the story of the pandemic. We're still in that situation worldwide. So we've got a handful of them at the start. And then, of course, more will be coming in later on. But yeah, if you want one of these very cool guitars, whether you're a Cory Wong fan or not, I think this is just a cool guitar. Definitely check them out. And if you're unfamiliar with Cory's music, both his solo stuff and with the Flyers, Fearless Flyers,
the Fearless Flyers and Vulfpeck, you should definitely check that stuff out because they are phenomenal. Yeah. I don't think I don't care what instrument you play. Every single one of those musicians is like just lights out good, and you will definitely enjoy what you hear. So yeah, go to alamomusic.com, check out the guitar, and if you're new to our channel, make sure that you subscribe, you turn on notifications, you like the videos, and if you want to check out more very cool things like lessons, tab books, bonus videos, and behind the scenes stuff, check out the description for the link to our Alamo Music Insider stuff on Patreon. All right?
Oh yeah.
Very cool stuff. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.